Beautiful souls. Wanna tap in with you. You know what's been the biggest challenge for me, I think, as a part of my journey of growth and healing is the vulnerability component. I think that with me um and getting out of my head, right? Because I stay in my head about things. I used to previously, and it was more about me dropping down into my heart. I think that because of the ways that I found safety for myself, it was much easier for me to um, suppress certain emotions, suppress certain feelings, and to not be fully expressed, because that's what happens when you lose your voice. That's what happens when you shrink yourself. That's what happens in just like a lot of different scenarios where you either don't feel valued, and that's where you get to that like not enoughness, and you're like, I don't want to say nothing because I'm gonna be rejected, or then for me, it would also come out as kind of like in an almost like an explosive way, right? Like I just felt like I had to all my life I had to fight for real. Like that's the way I felt, and like that's what was being projected in my movie. But in this new season, honey, we have allowed ourselves to live more freely. We have allowed ourselves to do some certain things that have expanded. But the vulnerability piece and really being vulnerable with myself, right? When I'm talking about um and sharing my beliefs, when I'm talking about sharing my understanding, there's also this like your self introspective, like how vulnerable am I being with me? How vulnerable am I being with me about how I truly feel about my job? How vulnerable am I being with myself about how vulnerable I'm being with myself about the person that I like, or just a variety of situations. I definitely feel like therapy helps with that, a significant amount. But even in these spaces where vulnerability is a challenge because we are judging ourselves based on what belief system, right? And input and external input for real. Because it's like, oh, I don't want them to think this about me. Oh, I don't want them to judge this about me. And then when you've done that for so long, you adopt some of that as well. So then it becomes more challenging for you to even be, truthful and vulnerable and honest with yourself. And I think that before you can do that with anyone else in any setting, you need to be doing that with yourself. You know what I mean? Like, how do I truly feel about this person? How do what's coming up for me when I'm in their presence? What do I need to know? What do I know about myself? What do I need to know about this person? What do I want to show them? What do I want to tell them? Um, what am I thinking about? What do I want to tell these people at this job? What do I want to tell these people at this business? What do I want to tell this client? And it's the discernment and understanding that sometimes there's a letting go, right? That there's an understanding, and sometimes they're feeling the same way that you are as well. I actually had a client. This is funny. It's not funny, but relevant. I had a client that I was working with, and I just really didn't enjoy. I wasn't really enjoying working with her or for her, um, because she was not. I felt a certain type of way about the expectations of what she had, of what she was trying to. It's just like her expectation wasn't meeting the work. And it was like it had all types of gaps in it. And I was like, I don't work well like this. And I sent her a email and I was like, hey, can we grab some time to talk? And I was just like, you know what? And she was feeling the same way I was. She was just like, this is not really in alignment. And I was like, cool. It was such a relief. Like, she felt relieved, I felt relieved. But had I not like had that conversation and been honest with myself about it and vulnerable, then it probably, she would have been like, she maybe have had that conversation with me, and I may have perceived it as like a form of rejection. So that vulnerability piece, and I think so many of us are missing that, especially in relationships, because we are essentially like afraid to tell this person that we're either in relationship with or not how we feel, like how we truly feel, and then examine why you can't, right? There's so many pieces out here. It's so much content that make it very challenging to be in relationship with yourself and with others. So many conflicting perspectives. So that's why you're anchoring and really getting into alignment with your own value system and moving from your value system is so important. And being anchored in like how I move, that's self-mastery, y'all. We've been talking about it. I've been talking about it. Understanding the self-discovery, the self-mastery, knowing all about the self, right? This journey, it's that. It's the journey of the self. Ain't nobody else living your life for you. That's why when you see people out here like, you know what? Go be as great as you can. Like, this it's only one life, you, and it's yours. So you have to decide how you want to live it. Do you want to live it in bondage, or do you want to live it free? And how do you free yourself? Because that's what you're doing. You're freeing yourself. All right. Peace and blessings. I hope you're inspired. Take care.